This is not a kid-friendly show.
Yo, what's going on, my dudes? Today is October 17th, 2016, and we got a new RuneScape update for y'all. So today I was expecting the Halloween event, but we did not get it, so that's going to be coming next week, no worries. Instead, today is just a patch week, and I say just a patch week, but it's really more than that, because we got a whole bunch of patch notes to cover today, and a lot of it is really interesting and really helpful stuff. So stay tuned, don't worry. Unfortunately, last week, the ninjas were gone, out of sight. Sayonara, don't know where they went, but yeah, there were no ninja fixes last week, so they really ramped it up this week and stepped it up. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So the first thing I'm going to go over is, if you're unaware, Mod Shawnee does a stream the Friday before the game day up week, so last Friday, and he gives a sneak peek of the kind of patch notes we can expect to see this week. So he compiled a list. I'm going to quickly go over them, because if you're unaware, I record these parts of the videos prior to the update. So I'll cover everything that we know so far, and then you'll still see within this video, but after I do that, I'll compile all the extra stuff that he didn't cover that still seems interesting and worth noting that did go and show live today. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. First up, let's go over the ninja fixes. This first one is a biggie. Interfaces will no longer move slightly when logging in, so this is removing the interface creep, so hopefully your things won't shift 1 pixel higher every fucking time you log in, which is really great. You can now toggle off the warning message when you enter the Ascension Dungeon Boss Labs. Champion Challenge Reward XP is now given as a lamp. There is now a Spirit Gem Bag that you can buy with 360 Thaler in the Thaler shop, which to be honest is quite useless in my personal opinion. It saves like 5 inventory slots if you happen to collect the Spirit Gems, but I mean, it's pretty expensive to be honest. It holds 60 of each unused gem, but to be honest, I can't really see that much people using that. It doesn't seem worth the time and effort put into using it, but it's there if you want it. You can now keybind the familiar details, and they're now placed on the powers drop down menu in the ribbon. POH bookcases now have a search option. The Wildy Sword will now help you locate the Wildy Worm much easier, or correctly. The hotkey to confirm a disassembly item for invention is now Y instead of 1. Hopefully that now prevents any accidental disassembles while in the middle of combat. It's now no longer a magic requirement to use quick tellies with your Viswax, so skillers now can benefit from the Viswax quick telly. The following NPCs on here, pause if you need, now have their left click options changed to these new options. You'll now get a notification when pickpocketing in Elf City that your inventory is full. Loot beams will now remain on the ground until you picked up the item associated with it on the floor. They've made the book puzzle and the occult floors for dungeoneering much easier to see for colorblind people. Karasi and Jessica swords can now be disassembled without having first augmented them, but they have a lower chance of getting pestiferous components. You now receive the medium wilderness task set agility buff by having the sword in your inventory. You can now view an opponent's inventory and worn items in a dual challenge interface to help prevent any scams. Having insufficient runes to cast a spell no longer unsets your auto casting that you have active. In the gameplay settings, you can now toggle off the confirm for using lamps, and if turned on, the Doomsayer notifications won't be caught in the chat filter. There have been several changes to the temple trekking minigame. Pause here if you need it, and you can now skip the following cutscene maps when traveling on boat that you see here on screen. Moving on, we got a bunch of fixes to the Ark region, so let's get into this. The click radius for chimes and seashells found on Uncharted Isles has been increased. Turtles on the Uncharted Isles now have reduced wander range, just so that the cluster of turtles and ornate turtles don't get mixed, because that was a problem if you had those spawn close to each other. Chickens on Waiko have been replaced with Pekin that drop appropriately poster-esque Ark resources. Undead chickens on Goshima now lay pickled egg. The Twilight Maui has been renamed to match other Maui. They added the heal area to the Cyclosis Bank. Receiving Slice Shroom contracts now require 90 farming as well as 86 cooking, because you would still receive them even if you didn't have 90 farming, and you wouldn't be able to do it, so that's been fixed. Some choppable bamboo can now be found on Twilight, because a lot of people requested it, because there's a whole bunch of bamboo on that island and there was no way to chop bamboo, so people felt, kind of redundant, so they added it. So there you go. The symbol for the Uncharted Isle supplies in the currency pouch has now been corrected, and one Bakami will no longer spawn with an unreachable spot on Waiko. Next up, we got some general random fixes, so let's check it out. The ability to reset the memory of Nomad with weekly D&D tokens has now been corrected, so you can reset them. If an account has Iron Man status, they can access an exclusive override for armor. If they lose their status of Iron Man, they will lose the armor. Yuri will no longer take more than 1 costume skipping ticket. Intercept spell can no longer be cast on an enemy player in the Soul Wars or Castle Wars minigame, which sounds like a lot of people can bug use it and go rogue on their team to help out the other team, so I'm glad that's been fixed. It's no longer possible to place combat dummies on the top of a portable skilling location, which is really nice. Barrel's bobbleheads are now interface pets. You can access them in the boss pets filter in the customization interface. I'm not too sure if that means they're overrides yet. Maybe not, but it looks like they'll eventually be on the list of overrides, so that's good to hear. Finally, the lucky challenges have been disabled. I don't know why. I don't know much people who are using them, but if you were, then I'm sorry, they're not here no more. I mean, nothing more you can do to that, so there's that. And the last few things we have here is that haliberts no longer require a strength level alongside their attack level requirement. It's now possible to destroy auras which aren't on cooldown and claim them from the loyalty shop off cooldown, ready for use. And finally, for Iron Man, Slayer XP awarded for completing Soul Reaper assignments is no longer halved. Anyways, that's it for this week's update for the RuneScape game, dog. Whole bunch of past notes. Hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far, why not give the video a like if you liked the video, dog. And if you liked me and you haven't subscribed, why not hit the subscribe button, doggy. New videos almost every single day if you happen to like me, and I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, thanks for watching, my dogs. I'm out. Peace.